Greetings, 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 everyone. Um, how's everybody doing on a Sunday afternoon? Hope everybody's in good health and doing great things. Uh, Today I want to talk about change. Some of us don't like change, and sometimes we as human beings don't want to change some because we feel though that we're grown, we don't have to make changes. And sometimes we feel like um, a lot of people tell us we're not God, and we can change when we want to change. But once again, I'm just having family conversation, and sometimes family conversations can be hard. Sometimes family conversation can be rough on us because sometimes we say things that might hurt you or ruffle your feathers. And and sometimes we as human beings do not like to be corrected. And sometimes we feel like, who are you to tell me I need to change? And sometimes we get so emotional, so bent out of joint that we feel like we um, don't need to change. But I just want to give an example. Um, Change. Change means making the right decisions in life, doing the right thing. As far as you growing up in the projects, you don't want to continue to live in the projects. You want something better. So you want to change your environment. And sometimes you, as an individual, feel like you can't make change because of the people you have around you. And sometimes the people around you can keep you in a state of mind of poorness, wickedness, deceitful, and disheartening. Sometimes we as human beings look for other people approval to make the decisions on our life. And that person that's saying something to you has already made up in their mind what they're going to do with their life. But they convince you to change your life, and you know how you are. Sometimes people can be put under peer pressure to consume somebody else's habits or ways or thoughts or actions. And sometimes we don't understand why we do the things that we do. And sometimes it's the people, it's your inner circle that's misleading you down a path of wrong. And sometimes we feel like we made a change, but we really didn't make a change because all it takes is one thing to get you back where you used to come from, or where you come from, or where you in your mind think you got delivered from. So sometimes we have to be alone. Sometimes we have to get off by ourselves and think what we want to do, what the things that we want to change, the things that we want to accommodate in our life. So, for example, you have a caterpillar. Now, we know we see a caterpillar, we see it crawling across the ground, or we see it on a tree, or we see it in the grass. We see that that caterpillar is crawling. But that caterpillar goes through a change in the season. And sometimes that caterpillar morphified or change its ways because now it's conformed to nature. And that means that that caterpillar now spawns a cocoon, and now that caterpillar going through changes. It don't make change right away, but it's making changes. And what I mean is that as that caterpillar is in that cocoon, it's changing its body, it's changing its thought process, it's changing. So this is what I say with humans. We are so afraid to change is because it scares us. It scares us to be a better person. And sometimes we don't like change because it hurts. And as over time, that caterpillar is changing while of the seasons. So as you see, that caterpillar cocoon is still going through the change. And this is the people mind of today. People mind don't want to change because we become comfortable in what we are. We can be a thief, we can be a robber, we can be a murderer, we can be a rapist, we can be a bank robber, we can be a pervert, we can be all of this because the mind don't want to change. The mind is not going to change. Why? It's because of it's scared to go through a metamorphosis and it's scared to go through what it's supposed to go through. And this is why I say, moreover, we as human beings have to change. We cannot continue to keep doing the things that we're doing. We are allowing ourselves to get distracted. We are allowing ourselves to go through ignorant things as far as what we know is right, but we know it is wrong. So, my thing is, what are you wanting to change? Sometimes change brings a different attitude. Change brings on a different people around you because change is going to make you change to want to do better or you just want to continue to do wrong. And the people that's around you, step back and ask yourself, do I need to be around this person or people? And sometimes change will convict you to automatically cut people off. That means family members. That means uh, friends that grew up in the sandbox because your thought pattern is changing. Now that the thought pattern is changing, the people around you will say, "You changed, man," or "You changed, woman," because of the thought process. The thinking has become different. And a lot of people don't like thinking different. A lot of people don't like doing different things outside the norm they've been doing their whole life. Sometimes we as human beings get caught up with so many friends because we grew up with the friend, we did dirt with the friend, we did a lot of things with a friends. But the older you get, somehow, some way, wisdom should start setting in and like, man, I don't want to do this lifestyle no more. And then that's when the people around you saying that you changed because why? You don't want to drink no more. You don't smoke weed no more. You don't want to go to clubs no more. You don't want to run woman to woman. You don't want to be gay no more. You don't want to do nothing that's contrary to your change that you're trying to do in your life. Like, for example, somebody that's been a drug dealer their whole life and they telling their so-called associates, hey, look, man, I'm getting out this game because I'm tired of it and I want change and I want better for myself. Sometimes people would say, man, look at this money we getting out here, man. They doing everything to distract you from doing the change that you saying that you're going to do. So now they say, man, look at all this money we're getting. We're getting all this bread, man, and you want to let this go? You want to stop this? Man, we go to the clubs, man. We getting all the chicks. We look at our phone, man. We got over 1,000 chicks in our phone. But your process in your mind is starting to change. And this is what I say. People don't want you to change. Like they saying a crab in a barrel. But I think the crab barrel has spilled over into society because now society has become weak minded, feeble in the mind. Everybody's doing the same thing, but you want to change. You want to set a difference. You want to do what's right. You want to do the right thing by yourself and to your kids. That's the main thing. Forget what your homeboy or your homegirl is saying. You got to interact with you. Only people that know you is you and God because He's your creator. He know what He made because He's the master of creation. So the thing about it is that we as human beings do not like change because if you look at it, like I was saying about the caterpillar is still going through that change, but through the season, that caterpillar becomes a butterfly now. Now you're seeing that caterpillar with wings because over time, that caterpillar has did change in that cocoon. And where the cocoon that starts with as a human is the mind. If the mind do not change, you constantly going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over. And for example, if people that you told that I'm trying to make a difference in my life, even if they catch you with a beer in your hand, with a J in your hand, with a cigarette in your hand, they gonna hold that against you. Hey man, I thought you was trying to change. Change does not happen overnight. Those who endure change will constantly change within self, with the mind and the heart. That's where change starts forming because once the mind changes, the heart is going to change. And sometimes we as human beings don't like change because why? It hurts. It's different. It's new. But at the same time, we got to understand we got to change. And the people, let's be honest with this. A lot of people is not going to be saved. A lot of people that's going to church faking like this, like they're doing all this and doing that, but they're not going to change because the heart have not. Because the scriptures say your mouth say one thing, but your heart does not honor me. Your heart is distant from me, but you praise me with your mouth, but your heart is so far away from me. Change starts with the mind and in the heart. And if we don't have change in neither one, we're constantly going to be doing the same thing. No difference, no set apart, no none of this. For example, let's take a potter. Now, when a potter has clay, he just has a clunk of clay in his hands. And he puts that clay on the wheel or on the thing to form whatever he's going to form. So now the mind is the clay. Now you, as the potter of your action, are you going to mold your clay to something beautiful or you constantly going to mold your mind into something filthy? So what a potter does, he wheels that wheel. He pushes on that, and the wheel is constantly because he know what he's trying to make in his mind. So, for example, now when you're making pottery, you have to have water, strength, and a keen mind what you're going to make out of the clay. So that potter is molding that cup or saucer or whatever he's molding. He know constantly it takes water. So what that means is you have to constantly keep your mind fresh, renewed in God. That means change your environment. That means change the people that's constantly around you that are saying. It could be conversations, it can be actions, it just can be a woman coming past, it can be a man coming past that you might think is cute, might think is sexy. But at the same time, you have to change your mindset, constantly water your mind with what? With scripture and your environment. Let's say for a person that's in the projects, all you see in a project is killing, robbing, thieving, and people are hollering for help. People in the projects cannot live without hearing gunshots. Sometimes we put our own self in situations that we ask God to get us out of because we always, as a human being, we are always running on emotions. And sometimes emotions can guide us the right way or it can guide us the wrong way. And sometimes when it guide us the wrong way, we get bad results. And it'll always be some nut in your ear cheering you on. Hey man, let's do this. Let's go rob this person. But you not knowing that you might end up killing this person because this person rebel back at you or buffed up against you like, man, you ain't taking nothing from me. So now the person that's in your ear, man, come on, man, we gotta kill this person because he know who we are and he seen our face and he know our name. This is why I say change starts with the mind and the heart. If those not in sync with each other, something always going to be off sync in your actions. You're always going to be not presentable to yourself. You know yourself when you look in the mirror every day. God give you the strength every day to wake up, but yet you continue to do what you want to do. This is why I say society is guiding people down a pit hole, and everything is right in society. But what did God say? God told us. He left us 10 commandments to do, but it's more than that. But He gave us 10 commandments to follow. But yet we still don't want to follow Him, but yet we call on Him when we're in trouble, when we about to die, when mama about to die, when your child even about to die. We want to call on God, but we have not set standards in our mind, in our heart, or change. But now we need God. But yet you never praise God. You never gave God no time. You never reverence God. But yet you always say, won't He do it? Won't He bless you? But yet, let me explain something to you. You still can be living, but God has turned you over to the world. That means a reprobated mind. That means God just forgiven you, forgotten about you. You don't exist. You're just out here in the wilderness. Sometimes people don't understand why God is not blessing them. Have you have you spent time with God? Instead of you spending time with a liquor bottle, with a bag of weed, with the girl, with the boy, have you spent time with God before you start calling on Him? Sometimes we as human beings, we always want to run on emotions. We want to run on what we think is right. He said our ways are not His ways. Our thoughts are not His thoughts, but we continue to think that God is blessing mess. You think God gonna bless you something that's gonna tear you away from Him? We have to do change. We got to do better with ourselves. We cannot keep allowing ourselves keep falling for the same tricks of the enemy. And the enemy can use anybody that's beside you. He can use your kids. He can use your parents. He can use your brother and sister. He even can use you against you. But sometimes we don't see that. We saying a lot of people like the atheists saying there's no God. Then how you get up in the morning? How you think alarm clock wake you up? No. We have to understand what kind of situation that we're in. We are in dire need because when we die from the flesh, we still got to meet our maker. And people quick to say, you ain't God, you ain't judging me. This is why the world saying everything is okay. Here it is, you got people struggling, you got people homeless, you got people go bit hungry at night before they go to bed. They got to drink water. Their kids are starving. You got parents of today are molesting their kids because of this. Their mind is feeble. You got parents are laying with their own children. You got parents raping their own kids. You got mothers sleeping with their sons. You got mothers sleeping with their daughters because of the mind and the heart have no change in it because we think it's right. You got fathers pouncing and getting their young kids pregnant. What are the changes you willing to do to get closer to God? Yet we can celebrate a dead body that has no life in it. We go to a grave site, talk to the dirt. There's nothing there. You're only talking to dirt, and you might have a picture on on the grave site. Once that spirit leave that body, you go back to where you come from, dirt. But the real life begins when you go into that spiritual realm to meet your maker. So this is why I say I got a log in my eye, just like anybody else. I'm not perfect. I got work to do too. But I want to make a change in my life. I don't hang with the people that I used to. I don't go to clubs. I feel uncomfortable. So I had a friend, well, associate. He owed me money. He told me to meet him down in VF Dub. I think that's what you call it. Now, this how the enemy can really work. So he knows I don't like that environment. He knows I'm not part of that environment. So I had to go in to get my money, right? So the music is loud. This is the craziness stuff that I say. Just look at the stuff that's going on. Now the music is blasting, right? And I see people standing beside the speakers having a full blown conversation, yelling, "Hey man, you heard what I said?" But yet when I see him, I go past the speakers. So look how the devil tried to do. Now he noticed not my environment. He tells me, "Hey man, won't you stay a while? Man, I got your money right here. Huh? Here you go." So I take my money. I said, "Man, I'm about to leave." So he was like, "Man, why you leaving, man? Come on, just sit down, enjoy the music." I said, "Man, you know I don't do this stuff, man." I said, "I'll talk to you later. Or I'll holler at you later." Because the change, I want to make change within me. You have to have change. You have to get rid of that stuff, man. The clubs ain't popping no more. The strip clubs ain't popping no more. You getting older, and your bones are eventually gonna get feeble, weak. What are you gonna do then? You're not always gonna stay young no more. Look at me. I was young one time. Now look at me. I got gray hairs. You're not gonna stay young forever. The time is to get your life right. Make some changes in your life. Tell that woman, that man, hey, I want to make change. I want to do right. I don't drink no more. I don't smoke cigarettes no more. I don't smoke weed no more. I don't do the things what the world say is okay to do because I want to make change within me. So, for example, like I always say, when a snake goes through its changes, it shed its skin. It does not rub against anything soft because he rub against something soft. He know that old skin is going to be on the new skin. And what the old skin does, if he don't eventually take the old skin, it's going to come like tape stuck to the new skin. This is why that snake try to get everything off him that don't belong to him, like the old skin. And the old skin is you. And it's your mind, your heart, and your actions. Let people say, hey man, you change. Hey man, you need to change. Yes, I do. But then they come back and say, you judging me, dog. You judging me? Man, I just remember just last week, we ran this G on this girl. But man, I don't want to do that no more. I need a wife. I want my kids brought up respectfully. I want my kids to know their parents. Listen here, to you men that's always thinking with the anatomy. See, we've been tricked. All we want to do is bust a nut. All we want to do is release ourselves. All we want to do is find the prettiest girl or a big booty hoe just to release ourselves. And then the women get pregnant by the rascal. Then she goes on to social media and bash the dude. Hmm. Now, that dude did not hold no gun to your head to tell you to open up your legs. You open your legs up because of emotions. You open your legs because you thought you loved him and you thought he loved you. But yet he got to release himself in your vineyard, and now you are pregnant because why you went on emotions. There's no change in the mind. Men, be careful who you lay with. That woman that you got pregnant could be your worst enemy, could be your downfall in this life to keep you prisoner for 18, 20 years, and she make your life a living hell. Just because she had a big fake BBL, because she had her tongue pierced, I'm gonna make it raw for you. She had her tongue pierced, and you know with women that got their tongue pierced, you know what they say about that. She got her armor all on her lips. She got her nose ring. She got her ears pierced, and her BBL got you in a trance. Now you in a trance. Now you release your seed in this woman. Now you condemn your whole soul because you want to release yourself. Now you got 18 to 20 years of misery. Now you have not learned your lesson. Now you meet somebody else, and now you go along and spread your seed in somebody else because you like the feeling. Women, I'm gonna get on you too. Men, you that desperate that you want to release yourself. The scriptures say rather for you to marry than burn. You men allow your anatomy to run rapid and destruction in your life. And you want to blame the woman, but yet you the one that carried the seed to release in that woman. So now you mad at this woman, but yet you're not holding yourself accountable because you done got 4 or 5 women pregnant, and now you want to blame them because of your downfall because You cannot go get a job unless they hitting you up for child support. Now you are disgruntled. Now you want to get revenge on these women. Now the change of the heart and the mind become wicked. Now some nut is in your man. You need to take her out, man. You need to kill him, man, because now you become a victim of your anatomy. Now you can't go get a good job because why? You got these five women tagging at your paycheck and you can't live. Now you got to live with your woman who don't love you, your mama who's tired of you, and you in your 30s and still producing babies. Why is that? Hmm. But yet there's no change because if you want to change, you would keep your anatomy in your pants. But yet you want to continue to release yourself in different women and run off to the next one. There's no change within the mind and the heart. Now you mad at the world, so now your actions have become weak. So you meet another weak person that's just like you. Man, we gotta go get this money. We gotta go get this bag. We gotta go do whatever we gotta do to get this money. So now you go on a robbing spree. Now your mindset has come corrupt. So now you fail you and your five children because you didn't hold yourself accountable. Because you want to go out here and chase a bag. Now you get shot. Now you go to the earth. And now your spirit goes into the creator, your maker. Look at the world. There's no change. Homosexuality is running rapid with among our kids. And the world says it's okay. Her, them, they, whom. I just know you as a man or a female. And that's what I'm going to call you. You can get mad. You can jump up and down. I don't care. Look at our young kids. We put our emphasis all on these celebrities, but yet our children is suffering by the wayside. To your mamas, it just saddens me to see on the public what our women has become. Not all, some. And with the young kids, with the young women of today, they are more violent than the men. They go hard in the paint more than the men because the men want to be faggots. And this what society say is okay. Look at our young women of today, the mamas 27 to 32, raising a 4 or 5 year old. And we teaching our kids to be young whores for the next generation. Look at the mothers of today. Like prime example with the prom. We go out here and rent Bentleys, Rolls Royce, Cadillacs, Escalades. But you don't know the repercussions of things that you're doing set our kids up for failure. My child gonna get the best. My child is gonna have the best. So if you think giving your child for graduation rental a Bentley, Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Corvette, Porsche with a red carpet going down to the car. And the sad part is You all doing all this stuff and don't have no life insurance on your kids at all. Now you know that your child is out in these streets. Now the mother will go do tooth and nail for their kids. But a lot of parents of today do not hold themselves accountable while their kids are in the graveyard. And I know, like I say, I'm gonna ruffle some feathers what I'm about to say. Sometimes parents of today, why my kid had to get killed, why my kid, he was a good kid. No, they wasn't. You doing that weeping and crying, yeah, I sympathize that you lost a child, but you're only weeping and crying is because your conviction has come and overshadowed you because you know you wasn't a good parent as a mother. You were teaching our young kids all about the bad. Get your money, girl. Get your money the best way you can. It saddens me because that these young women that call themselves parents don't even know how to clean themselves, don't even know how to wipe their vagina. This is why their pH balance is off. This is why most men are walking around with diseases and don't even know they got diseases because the women don't know how to clean themselves. And this is why these young mothers need to listen to the older mothers. For example, the church supposed to be set up. The mother's supposed to teach the young women how to be husbands, how to take care of home, how to take care of their children. But society say you can raise your child any way you want to. So our young kids, young ladies, are being trained to be professional whores. We take them to prom half naked. We go out and buy the dressing. And you know the dress is unpresentable. But you do not want to break your child's heart because your child want to look like a whore. She want to look better than anybody in the prom. All eyes are on her. Sometimes these young parents of today are in the clubs with their kids. They're smoking weed, they're drinking, and some of it even having sex with their kids. Some of their parents, because of the world, have not changed. And change starts with the mind and the heart. But we, as parents, why we always go to be hasty or jump to something to do for our kids, and our kids treat us like trash. And I can speak upon that myself because my children always calling me, Daddy, I need. But at the same time, they don't call to say, Daddy, how you doing? Daddy, let's go to lunch. Daddy, let's go to movies. Daddy, let's do this. Hey, let's do that. Children of today has become selfish, and society has not made it easier for some of these real parents to guide their kids. Now, for example, let's take a kid that has mother and father in the home. Now, this child goes to school. He listens to the music, but you as a parent do not allow that music in the house. But yet you're starting to see a change in your child. So now you start to conform to become on your child's level. And what I mean by that is that you see the change. Now your kid don't want to get no haircut. Now you know how you raise your child. Daddy took the kid to the barber shop every day. But now this child has become so infested with the world, the school, his peers. So now the child become disrespectful. Now you see how the change came within his child because now the mind and his heart changed. So now he become rebellious. Now he become dysfunctional. Now he become weak in the mind, in the heart, because now he's bringing all this stuff in your house. Now your household has been turned upside down because of your child, and you are pulling your hair out. What must I do to save my child? You know what you got to do? Get on your knees, get your mind out the gutter, get on your knees and cry out to God. Pray fast. God, I need you to give me my child back the way we raised him. Most parents of today are not teaching their kids how to pray. Only time you hear somebody use scripture is when somebody dead or they land up in the hospital on life support. Now they want to use all these scriptures. Change has to start with you. Like you so-called fake Christians. Their mouth spew what they want to spew out, but their heart is not going to guide you to what you're supposed to be at. So the reason I said that is because if you are following Christ, you are the example for the other people. You are the light of the world because this where change comes in because you get tired of doing the things of the world. Just look at it. Majority of these young kids of today, they look so old in the face, somebody that's 80 or 90 years old. This street life will ruin you. This street life will destroy you, inward and outward. You will look 25, but you more look 75 because there's no change at all. Hmm. Well, I ain't gonna talk you guys to get death. I know. I just can imagine. I go back and look at the comments, and I just can imagine what people are saying. Well, I thank you guys. I'm gonna say peace be, and thank you for tuning in.